All right, Mike. So yeah, first of all, I appreciate you hopping on this call. I'll make it short, to the point, and as precise as possible. So how I would structure this is I will give it over to you now. Like, I want to understand where exactly you are. I'll ask a few questions, understand where exactly you are trying to go, and then how we can bridge that gap from our end. And then I'll be sharing you the back end stuff, and then next possible step. Sounds good?
Sure.
Cool. Over to you, Mike. Like, what exactly made you say, you know what, this might be something that can help me overcome the challenge I'm facing right now?
I think I'm always open um, to ways to improve my business potentially. So I've been a mortgage broker for 25 years. Been doing it for a long time. I'm almost exclusively referral based at
Okay.
this point. I mean, I've been doing it for more than half my life. So um, yeah, I'm almost exclusively referral based, but that doesn't mean that I'm not open to doing other um, doing other things that would generate more business. My colleague and I have recently, in the last 12 months, have kind of launched our our own little plan to really get into the world of reverse mortgages.
Okay.
So, um, we partner with throughout the state of Florida. We partner with in-home care companies. I do all kinds of mortgages. I do commercial loans. I do home equity lines. I do a regular mortgage. If you were to buy a house or whatever, I do all of that. But and I have done that for 25 years. But with the reverse mortgages, it's obviously you can't qualify for that unless you're a senior to and older. The whole point with reverse mortgages is seniors that want to age in place,
Mhm.
meaning they don't want to go to some home, where somebody's feeding them three times a day and they get to play cards. That's not what they're looking to do. They're looking to age in place. They want to live out their days, however long that might be, or their years. They want to live out those years in the home that is their home, in the uh, with comfortable and familiar surroundings. So the problem with that is, as they get older and health issues arise, they need they need care. Um, that care cannot always be provided by family. I mean, sons, daughters, brothers, sisters have to work. They have families of their own that they have to tend to. Um, so
Yeah.
that care
Mhm.
comes from an outside third party in most cases. Um, that care, especially, is extremely expensive. So depending on the type of care they need, depending on the frequency of care that they need, some need it for 3 to 4 hours a day. Some need it 24/7 if they're really declining from a health perspective or mental perspective, right? Dementia, Alzheimer's, stuff like that. So round the clock care, and it can be 25 to $30,000 per month.
Oh,
Um, it's a lot. So it can range anywhere from 30 to $70 an hour. Um, it just depends on where they're at. So the problem with that is, unless these seniors, which 99.9% of them are not, unless they or their families are independently wealthy, which, like I said, 99.9% are not, um, they really don't have a way to pay for that sort of care that they need. Um, and what ends up happening is they end up either getting substandard care. They find somebody to do it on the cheap, which is could be bad for them ultimately. Um, or if they really need 24-hour care, but they can only really afford 12-hour care, what happens to those other 12 hours? You have family members trying to uh, fill in the gaps, if you will. Anyway, long story short, um, sometimes they have long-term care insurance, but even that is usually not enough to cover that level of care. Um, the one place where they have access, where they have potential access to the funds that would help them to bridge the gap is the equity in their home. However, most seniors are on a fixed income, whether it's pension or Social Security. They're on a fixed income. They're sitting on piles of equity, and they can't qualify for the loan to access it. So it's like it's behind the glass, and they can't get it.
Okay.
So effectively, they are house rich and cash poor, is what that comes down to. So in order to do that, the only clear way for them to access that, other than selling the home, but if they sell the home, that defeats the purpose of aging in place with familiar surroundings. So the only way to access that really is a reverse mortgage. Reverse mortgage does not have a monthly payment. So the qualifying for that is much easier. It's not, and if they do have a mortgage payment currently, a reverse mortgage would effectively eliminate that payment. So we've really ventured into that part of the pool. That's kind of the deep end of the pool. But
is that the main thing? Sorry to interrupt, but is that the main focus for you right now that you want to go all in on? It sounds like.
Look, I think our heart is in the right place for what we're doing. Both of us, my colleague and I, we both have aging, ailing parents. My colleague's parents are both in their early 80s. Mine are both in their early 70s. They're sick with different infirms. They have different stuff going on. So we see the need, and we're approaching it from the right perspective. We are really trying to help these seniors do that. That said, I would be lying to you if I didn't tell you that the payout on reverse mortgages, the commission to us, is oftentimes 5 to 10 times what it would be for a standard mortgage.
Okay.
So this is also a way to effectively work smarter, not harder. I can make a similar amount of money, or probably more, and not doing as much, and not having to do as much work. I can spend more time with my own family. I can travel more, which is what I want to do. That said, I mean, if we found a way to be truly busy with reverse mortgages, I would do almost exclusively that. I mean, I'll always be able to do the other kind of mortgages. I do those when I get them. That's not a problem. It's easy. I don't want to cut off these other mortgages, certainly. But if the option was presented, if I was so busy that I was doing 10 reverse mortgages per month, I would never do a regular mortgage again.
Okay, so if you could, this is what I understand, right? The priority for you is only reverse, but if you have an option like that, if you don't have it, then you can, you want to build that stuff up on the side while you do other stuff that's going on at the moment.
Yeah, in a perfect world, I would love to be busy with both. I would love to have, I'd love to be doing 10 reverse mortgages a month and 20 regular mortgages a month. The reverse mortgages are a little more labor intensive. It takes a little more work to get those done, a little more presentation, a little more education of these borrowers. So it takes more of my time, certainly. A regular mortgage takes about 30 days to complete. But realistically, I only work on that mortgage for a total of about 2 hours over the course of 30 days. It's 5 minutes here, 10 minutes there, 3 minutes here. When I add up all the time that it takes me to do a regular loan, it's really about 2 hours over the course of 30 days.
And then what about the reverse mortgages?
The reverse mortgage, it's probably 2 to 3 times as much work.
Okay.
So, I would say somewhere between 4 to 6 hours total of work, which doesn't seem like a lot in the grand scheme of things, but I'm just for comparison's sake, that is That is about
Okay.
the timeline that it takes to work on them. Although, again, the payout is, 5 to 6 times as much. So yes, it takes 3 times the work, but the payout is comparable for the work that it
Okay.
takes.
All right. I appreciate you sharing that with me. What was the number looking like for you so that I can compare that and show you the system and then we can decide?
With standard loans,
I mean, like, yes, how many loans are you doing on average a month right now, and how many applications gets you to that number?
yeah, I mean, look, for the better part of the last 2.5 to 3 years, interest rates have been high. So
Yeah.
those numbers, as far as the number of loans per month that I'm doing, that number has been vastly decreased over the last 2.5 or so years, just because interest rates have been high. That's
Yeah.
the nature of things. It tends to choke off some buyers. If you have a customer that has 3%, they're not really interested in refinancing for 7%. I mean, that would be kind of dumb to do.
Of
So,
course.
in a normal market, when interest rates are not sky high, um, it's not uncommon that 8 to 10 loans per month booked.
Okay. That's before, like, that was your average before, let's say, like 2.5 years, 2 years.
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah.
And what does it look like now in numbers, loans?
Now it's. I mean, for the better part of the last 2.5 years, it's probably been 1 to 2 loans per month.
Okay. I mean, I heard that, everyone I speak with, everyone says the same thing, right? The last 2 years have been very difficult, but, the interest rates are coming down again, so things are
They
looking
are.
positive. Yeah.
Yep, they are.
Okay. All right. Okay. And 1 to 2 loans a month and the market is down. So of course, how many people do you have to speak with? As in, let's say, like referrals from realtors, right? Or any referral sources. How many people do you have to speak with a month right now that gets you to 2 loans a month? Because the reason I'm going to give you a context here. The reason I'm asking this question is because nothing will beat referral sources, right? It's always the warmest possible prospects you speak with. But
Sure.
when you use something else that's bringing predictability, like more volume under your control, then you can compromise on, let's say, like if it's a 8 out of 10 prospects you are speaking with on referrals, you can talk with more of 6 out of 10 prospects so that the volume can be added. So how many of those are you speaking with that gets you to?
I would say for numbers purposes, if you weed out the people that I speak with that just don't qualify, right? They don't make enough money or their credit is shit. Excuse the language. If you weed out those people, if you give me 10, me personally, if you give me 10 qualified applicants, meaning the credit is there, the income is there, there's not going to be a problem with debt ratio, they don't have a bankruptcy or a foreclosure. If you give me 10 qualified prospects, I feel like, I don't want to sound cocky with it, but I've been doing it long enough. I feel like I'm going to close 5 to 7 of those people. My rates are good. Um, my customer service, and I feel like, and my personality with these folks, I've been doing it long enough. I feel like these people, all things being equal, if I'm offering this rate and whoever else they're talking to is offering the same rate, um, I feel like I am going to win that, because I am the difference. My personality, my
Okay.
demeanor, my customer service, I feel like is going to win those battles. And I don't know if that's a confidence thing or what, but I feel like you have to be that way in sales. You have to think that you're going to win. You got to believe that you're going to win. So all things equal, I mean, I think I close at least half of those, maybe more, out of 10, assuming they're all qualified.
Okay. When you say qualified, you mean like the credit scores are what's the lowest that you play with?
I mean, I can do loans with credit scores all the way down to, you know, 600 or even less in some cases. But, qualified, ideally, a credit score of, if we're talking strictly VA and FHA loans, the credit score threshold on those is a little bit less, right? You don't need to have a 740, 760 score. You can get
Mhm.
away VA, FHA, you can get away with a 640, a 660 score. So for VA and FHA, I would say somebody with a 680 credit score would be probably a floor number. I can do it with lower scores, but it gets a little ugly with the
Okay.
pricing.
Okay.
And I'm a veteran as well, so I love doing VA loans. I love working with veterans.
Okay.
But yeah, so I would say a 680 score. Look, and from an income perspective, if I got somebody that wants to buy a $750,000 home and the total monthly payment on that with taxes and everything is going to be $5,000,
Mm-hmm.
but Joe customer only makes $6,000 a year before taxes, he's not qualified, right?
Of
And
course, of course.
you'd be surprised how many people who only make $6,000 a month, which that's nothing to shake a stick at. I mean, you make good for them. Most people would kill to make $6,000 a month before taxes, but then they want to buy a home that has a payment that is 85% of their income before taxes even come out. You have all these other expenses that they have, right? I mean, you have gas and electric and phone bill, and you have to buy food, and you have to buy. So those people like that are not qualified from an income perspective. They are not
Mm-hmm.
qualified,
Okay.
and
Of course.
that ends up being a tough phone call or a tough conversation because they have their heart. Oh my God, we love this house. The payment is 5,000 a month. I think we can do that. And then you look at their income, and I'm like, you only bring home 4,500 a month. How do you expect to do a payment of 5,000? So those end up being people that were never really qualified in the first place. So out of
Okay.
those 10 people, in the scenario we're talking about, out of those 10 people, that would be somebody that really shouldn't even be in that 10 people to begin with because they're not really qualified.
Okay. So, and also one more question I forgot to ask you. You are
Yeah.
you are licensed in and 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 your focus mainly is in.
Yeah, because I live here. So
Okay. So let's target because in Facebook ads we will be targeting on one specific area first. We use Facebook ads and Instagram ads to bring in people on and then qualify them and then send it to you with booked appointments. So we will be needing one specific area to target. That's the reason I'm asking. Second thing is, what is the last question before I can share my screen, right? What exactly is the ideal number of loans that you say is a realistic number in the next 6 months to target?
per month,
Yeah, if you're doing 1 to 2 a month right now, what do you think is
I
a
mean,
realistic
in the
number?
next 6 months, I would love to do 5 to 6 loans per month.
Okay, so added like 3 to 4 a month added on top
Sure.
of it.
Yeah,
Okay.
of course. I mean,
And
I'd love to do 20 to 30 per month, but I don't think that's realistic. So
of course, that's what I'm saying, realistic according to the market, right? So is this like, is this an urgent thing right now to hit that number, or you're like, we can relax and it's not gonna be a huge impact?
um yeah, look, I mean, we all need to make money. So I think there's always a level of urgency there. Um, am I gonna be homeless next month if I don't get it there right away? No. But yeah, I think there's always a sense of urgency. I don't think it's dire at the moment, but there's always a sense of urgency.
Okay. So if you can get there as soon as possible, that is always in your mind.
Sure, of course.
Okay. All right. So I'll share my screen. Mike, tell me if you can see it. Okay.
I can.
I was also looking at your website. It really looks good. Do you have like a podcast or something?
I do not have a podcast. No.
Okay, that's like really good testimonials here. All right. So what I'll do is I'll give you an overview of it. Okay. Tell me if you understand like any questions at any point. Stop me and ask the question back.
Sure.
So there's 5 steps to the process. Okay. And the main thing that we are targeting is to give you more volume of people who would be as close to those type of conversation that's coming in from the referral partners. Okay, that is the goal. Because we cannot beat that, but we can beat that with volume, right?
Sure.
So uh, this is the first step. The first step is running the Facebook ads and targeting the type of income, how household income areas that Facebook already have data for. That these areas, these people are already in affluent communities. We'll be targeting them. If you have zip codes preference, that okay, you know what, you are from, so you will know that these areas do have people who make good income. So you can share that to us. We can target them on the first step of the funnel as well. That way, what happens is any people who raises their hand up is almost most likely gonna hit those bracket in the income level. Make sense?
Yep.
Okay. Now, once they do that, not everyone who raises their hands is a right fit for you to spend your time on there, right? So there's a lot of time wasters. There's a lot of people who are not we have not qualified them yet. That's when we send them to a landing page. I'm sure you are familiar with something like this. In this page, we'll be asking them basic questions. One is an estimated price of the home they're looking for. We'll customize this according to your need, according to the market. And then, what's the gross income before taxes? That's what also you mentioned, right? But mind you that not everyone will be 100% honest here. People might lie in this step. We have that in mind. But this is not to only collect information. This is also to make sure people jump through enough hoops before they speak with you. That way, we also check the intention level. Like, do they actually want to move forward with you? Make sense?
Right.
Okay. So we asked these four questions like credit score and do you have a representation already? And then they can at that step they share their email and details with us. Once they do that, let's say 110 people coming in from the Facebook ad, only 5 to 6 will be filling this up. Okay. So we know that the remaining 4 people are a waste of time already. Neither we deal with them, neither you deal with them. Now, once someone shares the detail here, they are captured as a lead in the CRM that we have. Are you aware of?
No.
Okay. This is a white label CRM that we are using. So that is a lead inside this CRM. You'll be having access to the CRM account as well. We'll be giving that to you. But even now, this lead is not worth your time yet. There needs to be more qualification. So now we know that these people have intention. So if you compare them to your referral source, they're still like 3 out of 10 or 4 out of 10. So we have a lot of 4 out of 10 right now, but we need to qualify them more. How do we do that? We need to check the intention, and what we do is we send them automated emails and SMS immediately with your name, so that you can build rapport with them virtually, right? So we will add videos of yourself inside these messages so that they can be introduced to you as a person. And we'll be pushing them to book an appointment with you on your calendar. All right. Do you use a Google Calendar or?
I do.
Okay. So we will integrate your Google Calendar here, and we'll be making sure they are the next step is for them to book an appointment with you. So the more people books an appointment, that will be updated in your calendar. Not everyone is going to be booking an appointment just from SMS and email. So what we will do is call them up from our side. Again, have a phone conversation from my team, right? And then we will book even more people who did not book directly from the email. That way, we maximize the number of appointments that is on your calendar added, right? From there, what we have seen is 60% of them shows up. So those 60% already have the qualifications metrics met. They already have the intention, and they have went through enough steps before they can show up to you. And also along the process, we will be having 4 videos. We'll need 4 videos from your side. You as a person, like you recording a video. One will be an introduction video. One will be a value-based video, you sharing some information to them. Third will be a testimonial video, and the fourth one will be a pre-consultation preparation video. But what do you need from their end to be there when they are on a call with you? Make sense?
It does.
Okay. So that way, what happens is like we have checked the intention, we know their information, they have taken a step towards you, and they also know how you look like, what type of personality you are, and they are really warm towards you. That way, they're already 6 out of 10. And what we have seen is with this client from Michigan, we have, we use Facebook ads, right? So what we suggest is you taking care of ad budget to Facebook, which goes directly to Mark Zuckerberg. He takes care of that. We make him rich. But anyways, you take that. Once you know invest today, we will have enough people to play around with, right? And that way we see that 25 to 35 booked appointments every month is possible with that budget. And so that is what we would be suggesting you to get started on a trial period with us, where you are not going to be paying us until we'll be giving you 5 applications in the first 4 to 6 weeks. These type of people, our goal is to give you more consultation calls, which we see is 17 to 20 is possible. From 17 to 20, then you will be able to get 5 applications. That's what we guarantee.
Okay.
Does it make sense?
And it makes sense. I mean, I understand. And the price point on that is per day.
Per day goes to Facebook ads. That's going to be directly from your card to your Facebook ad account, going to Facebook, which we will be using on your behalf.
Okay.
Okay.
So we're talking. Ultimately, I'm not a mathlete here, but we're talking bucks a month.
That's like daily ad budget.
Okay.
So that's sorry.
I said I'm listening.
Okay. That's a one investment from your side. We'll be having a guarantee that our goal, the way we are looking at it is we have a capacity for 8 clients right now. We've onboarded 3 already, and we have spot for 5 more. So what we are looking for is, to first of all work with us for a 6 week part-time period and see what the ROI is coming from here, the quality of the applications. You will be having an understanding of it, right? Then you'll be giving us a feedback that how good are these? Are this good enough to move forward? And then we will sit down after 6 weeks from now, 4 to 6 weeks from now, and prepare the strategy for the next 4 months to hit the goal that you've shared with me, to maybe like add 3 to 4 more loans consistently on top of it. Does it make sense?
It makes sense. So how does that work? So my website, you've obviously been to my website.
Yeah.
So I have I have a company that does that website, maintains that website for me. They maintain my business Facebook. They post stuff on my.
Okay.
So how does that interfere with that?
So what we will need from, you are the admin, right? For your own Facebook account.
What's that?
You're the admin, right? You have the main control.
Well, I mean, I can go in there and make changes, but this company has access to. I mean, they post content or whatever
on your Facebook page.
On my business Facebook page, correct?
Yeah. Okay. So this is how it's gonna go, right? What they are using is the Facebook content, Facebook page to upload content, right? What we'll be using is the Facebook Ads Manager, which they are probably not using if they're uploading content there. That's a different thing. So we will be needing you to give us access to the Ads Manager, which will be connected to the Facebook business page, but we will not need the page apart from that. Right? So you give us access to the business page, and then we will be that's sorted from our side. We'll be able to control it. Like we'll be able to upload the ads. You'll be the admin. We'll be having the employee access, partial access, just for the ads.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah, well, that's pretty much it. So in terms of the first month, we suggest you this. Facebook has that, and also I forgot to mention that we'll be having a setup fee, a one-time setup fee of if you want to move forward with us, which will be used for all the expenses, the CRM and the videos integration, workflows, preparing everything for you. There's going to be one time and the Facebook ads for the first month, and that's it. No service fee to us. After you complete the service fee, the 6 week period, and if you want to move forward with us, that's going to be a month to us as a service fee. If you want to move forward,
1,000
a month, yes. If
that's independent of the per day for the Facebook ad.
Yes.
Got it.
So what we are looking to, our goal is to get you to at least 3.5 to 4x return, right? So first of all, in the 6 week period, we'll be able to understand what sort of applications you are getting. You'll be giving me feedback that, okay, you said like if you get like 10 applications, then you at least will get 4 loans from there, right? Three
I
to
mean,
four,
I
let's
would
say.
think so. If they're qualified, again, I feel
Exactly.
like all things equal, I feel like I'm winning. So
Exactly. So that way, what happens is like in the next 6 weeks, we'll be able to understand the ROI coming from it. And then, if needed, we can also increase the ad spend so that for us, it's $1,000. To Facebook, it's $1,000, let's say a month, $1,000 from your pocket. And then if we can get like 10 applications from there, which actually converts to at least 3 loans, 2 loans even, that still is win for you, you know?
well, yeah. I mean, the look per loan. I mean, I probably on average, um, per loan, I gross per loan.
Okay. So
So,
even
I mean,
just one
the
loan.
the loan amounts are bigger, obviously. So
Yeah.
the payout is larger, which is really why we focus on. So,
Exactly. So that's the reason we suggest to start with a smaller ad budget. And if we see positive results from here in your area and you give us a positive feedback, then we suggest you to increase the ad spend because we have a proof of concept there so that you can make more from there as well.
okay. Yeah, I need to think it over. I would love to be able to rewatch our Zoom. Are you able to send me a copy of our thing so that I can kind of rewatch what we discussed today?
Do you want me to share this entire Zoom recording or how do you want me to
I
prepare it for
just,
you?
yeah, I mean, I don't know. I've enjoyed speaking with you, and your presentation. I would like to be able to go back and make sure that there's nothing that I missed, no questions that I should have asked that I didn't. But I need to think about it and check the budget.
Okay, okay. Is there anything else like, I sense some hesitation in terms of the numbers in your mind. Is there something there?
No,
You can share that with me.
it's. I mean, it's not that it's hesitation. Look, I'll be honest with you. I get 10 to 15 of these a day on LinkedIn. It's exhausting.
Okay.
Um, there's honestly, there's very few that have gotten to the point that you have where I've actually gotten on a Zoom.
Why so?
Most
I'm interested. Like, what exactly made you look at us so different? Like, what
and
exactly was there?
look, I just think that I'm open to listening. Whereas before, when rates were great, I was so busy that I didn't even listen. I didn't need to listen because I was
Hmm.
busy. So I think I'm open to it. Yeah, I'm open to listening. I don't know that I ultimately pull the trigger on it. I may not. I need to think about it. Um, I need to talk with uh, the other parties here in the office, even though this would be for me and for me only.
Okay.
I value their opinions on it, my colleagues, and that's why I would like maybe if you're able to send me a copy of a link to a copy of our conversation today, I can maybe even present it to them and see, hey, what do you think? What do you guys think? I do value their opinion. We've all been working together for 20 plus years. We're all best friends. The wives
I
hang out together.
understand.
The kids grew up together. Um, we wear shorts and flip flops to work every single day. So
Okay.
um, it is
I
we are
understand.
we're all good friends. So yeah, I would love to be able
So,
to think about it.
okay, cool. So I'll do this then. I'll send you this link, entire meeting as well. I think it's not
Okay.
long. It's about 30, 35 minutes.
Yep.
I also send you a brief overview on a short video, like a 5, 6 minute video, to cover the main part up. That way you can just, look at that. And if you still need more clarity, you can have this conversation as a reference as well. Right?
Okay. Yeah, I appreciate
Uh,
that for sure.
yep. Can we do you think we can hop on a call, like schedule next call next week or no?
Let
Not
let me
sure.
let me think about it. Definitely communicate with me, right? Via email or via text. You have my cell phone
Okay.
number.
All right.
And yeah, my schedule is pretty busy over the next couple of weeks. I got some personal stuff going on with my wife, medical stuff with her. I've got a kid. My last kid is moving out. Thankfully, yay. And I have work to do. So
Okay.
and I have a second job. So yeah,
What is
I'm
that?
busy.
What is this
I
like?
actually I work in the evenings.
Okay.
Um, it's right down the street from my house, but my thinking is that the people that come in there are doing home improvement projects. So
Hmm.
I started working there a few months ago, and I've gotten a couple of loans out of it, where somebody comes in and, hey, I'm remodeling my bathroom, I'm out of money. Here's my card. I can do a home equity line of credit for you. So I've actually gotten a couple of loans working there. Um,
That's good. That's a good plan,
yeah,
right? That's an
yeah.
interesting plan.
I'm
Also,
trying to do it trying to do it any way
can
I can. So
can I ask you a quick question before we,
sure.
hang up and wrap this up? I think, we were actually, this is the main process that we anyways follow. But I was looking to, add more value to the clients that we already have. So I just came up with an idea. I think, just, your input on this. Do you think like, because everything in this industry is mostly referral based, right? It's from realtor referrals, let's say.
Sure.
Do you think there can be something done in terms of people moving in? Like if we can target those people because they don't have brokers inside of. So do you think there is something there what that we can target those type of people on a maybe like the realtors that they're representing them, we connect with them on a cold call or something, outreach to them, and then build a connection with you there, like with the clients that we are working with.
Yeah. Look, I'm honestly, I think I don't think I've failed a lot in this business, but where I have failed is I should have been establishing realtor connections
Mm-hmm.
over the last 25 years. And I haven't done, I have some realtor connections. You see my website or whatever, but those realtors, the ones that are on my website, it's not like they're each sending me one loan a month. I get a loan a year from those people or whatever. So, which is fine. I'm not upset about that. I mean, it's free business for me, and I occasionally send buyers to them. Um, but I wish that I had established more concrete connections with realtors.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Okay.
and I have not. So
I mean, yeah, the reason I was just, having this conversation with, uh, I'm hoping I'm not wasting your time, right, with this
no, no,
conversation.
no, 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 no. You're good.
Okay, I'll just take more 2, 3 minutes. We're just, having this conversation with my operations in charge, like the guy who takes over the operations, and I was like, because I have experience with cold calling, right? I book like 80 meetings. I have trained people to book 200 plus meetings, so I know cold calling in B2B scenarios is something that I really have a strength in. So I was thinking if we can cold call realtors and then build connections with mortgage brokers or loan officers that way, along with ads, then there can be something there, right?
Yeah, I think there could be something there. Totally.
Do you have any suggestions like how to, how would you approach something like this? If you had the skill, let's say if I was a skill that you could acquire and then you add that to your experience, how would you do that?
Yeah, look, I'll tell you the tough thing with realtors is a lot of the realtors that are in the game, they've been in the game for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
So we call them old dogs, right? And like me, I'm an old dog. I've been in the mortgage side of it for 25 years. So I'm an old dog. So a lot of these realtors, they have their connections, that they have their guy. Oh, I got a guy, a mortgage guy. They've had their guy or their girl for years. So it's really hard to break through to a lot of these long time realtors. I would say if you're going to try to go after realtors and build connections with mortgage brokers, you go after realtors that have been realtors for 5 years or less
Mm-hmm.
would
Okay.
be my suggestion. I mean, I guarantee you, you go after a realtor that's been a realtor for 10, 15, 20, 25 years, they've already got a mortgage person, and they're very, very difficult to crack and be open to working with someone else on a consistent basis.
I
Um,
mean, that makes sense because if we can connect with, let's say, 10 realtors who are like less than 5 years, then there's like possibility there, right? Instead
yeah,
of one or two who has been in 20 years, 10, 15 people who has been in
right.
less than 5 years. That is a possibility. And also,
Yeah,
what do you think is the process when, let's say, someone who is moving into buy a home, like in a property in from other states, do they have
right.
representation after they move here, or what? How do they? usually proceed there?
I think most of them, first of all, people are not moving into California; they're leaving this stupid state. Um, but
Good.
but anybody that's moving either from this state or to somewhere else, or from somewhere else to here, I think most of them have sought out a realtor prior to making the move. They have probably, if somebody says, "Hey, we're moving from Arizona to California in 6 months," they probably have sought out a realtor well ahead of time. They don't come here first and then seek out the realtor. Um, they're probably working with a realtor 3 to 6 months ahead of time. So they've probably either gotten a referral from someone to a good realtor in the area where they want to move,
Mhm.
or
Mhm.
or they have searched online for a good realtor. But yeah, I would definitely go after people that have realtors that have only been a realtor for 5 years or less, right?
That's the best shot.
I mean,
Yeah.
look, if you're gonna try to get someone to quit smoking, you got a better chance of getting the person that's only been smoking for a few years to quit than the
Yeah.
person
Yeah.
that's been smoking for 2 decades. It's going to be
That's
a
for
lot
sure.
harder to get them to quit. And I've tried it. I've called on realtors, introduced myself. I've gone, into their office, hey, here's my card. I've been a mortgage broker for 20 years. I've got my guy. I'm good. I've got my girl who I use. I'm good. And they're loyal to those people. So, um, I think you do best to go after people that haven't been in the realtor game for that long.
That's a really
They're
good
still
point.
they're still moldable. They're still convincible. They're still maybe not quite 100% certain and concrete on the person for mortgages that they use.
Mhm.
Um, it's like a teenage brain, right? They're not fully developed if you catch them at
Yeah.
16, but if you catch them at 25, their brain's kind of already fully developed. They've got all their neurons are all complete, and um, you gotta catch them in those earlier years if you want to try to make a connection with them.
That is
So
really a really good point, Mike. I mean, like, we are really trying to make sure, the most efficiency comes out of the campaigns that we work with.
yeah,
So it was really great insight. I really appreciate your time on this.
glad to
And
help. Glad to
forward
help.
to, talking to you soon again.
Yeah, absolutely. If you could send me a copy of the presentation, I'd appreciate it, and then um, touch base with me in a week. And
Okay.
I'm gonna do some thinking on it. Try to talk to the other people that are not here. I'm the only one here right now, but um, I'll try to talk to them and get their opinions, and I'll let you know.
Sure. Sounds good. Have a
All
good
right.
day ahead. Yeah.
Thank you for your
Cheers.
time.
Bye.
Bye bye.